Coming up on the first pitch, Anthony Santander at the plate.
First pitch, 7 o'clock.
Late with the swing there.
When you throw a fastball by a guy like that, I imagine it's got to feel incredible. Look for him to throw it again at some point.
Swings through that one. It's a strikeout. So up next, Jacob Wilson. To the right side, and that chance handled. Walker takes it to the bag. 2 quick outs at the top of the first here tonight. 2 outs, base is empty. And now for the Jays, Addison Barger.
Ball 1.
Swings through that.
He's looking pretty sharp to start the ball game. He's got that good fastball working early.
Late on that fastball.
Out there on the mound, he's setting the tone early with the fastball. 98 miles per hour up on the scoreboard.
Battling here as he fouls it away. 2 down, nobody on. Some heat there at 9. Otto Lopez. Now at the plate.
That's a ball.
Fouled off. He was late. That one ripped, but foul. In the air, right field. And there's one down. Now here is Brent Rooker. And the 1-0. Swings through that one. That's a hit. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Anytime you rip a line drive the other way, you feel really good about what you did at the plate. You trusted your hands, you let the ball travel, and you took the barrel straight to it. That's great work right there.
Base hit. Rooker around second, headed for third. Throw cut off to first. Tries to get back in time, but they got him. Hey, Eugenio Suarez up to hit now.
Ball, that's off the plate.
Base hit and a run in to score.
Everything came together for him. Other than ripping one into the gap or blasting one over the wall, there aren't a whole lot of hits that are more satisfying than a nice...
This one's into the outfield. Could be extra bases. Lead runner gets the stop sign at third. It's a 2-out double, second and third now. Now it's Christian Walker. In there at the knees.
This might be the most pressure you put on this guy today. You got one run in, you got to try to get another one or maybe 2.
And fouled off. 2 on, 2 outs. Brings it in for the 3rd out. All set for the start of the inning. And now the Toronto cleanup hitter, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. First pitch swinging. Strike 2.
He can live up in the zone all game if hitters will chase it. That's just too much velocity. Hitters got to look down in the zone.
Swing and a miss. And he's down on strikes. And he's registered 3 Ks in this one. Here's George Springer. Swings through that one for strike 1. Swings through the fastball up in the zone.
Just not able to catch up to that velocity.
That one not close. And that's ball one. Misses
That's
the
ball
zone
two.
for a ball. That was the sweeper. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that's 4 strikeouts. And now it's Dalton Varsho. Swings through that one out in front that time.
Ball, that's out.
Way out front for strike 2.
Got some cut action to it. Velocity pretty good on that slider. So far moving the ball around nicely.
Next
Nope.
offering is downstairs. And it's fouled off. They'll do it again. 2 down, nobody on. And that
Nope.
misses.
That's inside.
And the count's full.
That's a good miss off the inside part of the plate. You'd much rather miss there than out over the plate where this guy could do some real damage.
Gets a piece and stays alive. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Bottom half of inning number 2. Stepping in, Zach Geloff.
Ball one.
Line drive. Reaching down, makes the catch. Next up for the A's, Cam Smith. And a big swing and a miss.
Just a bit tardy there. Not sure if he had a hard time picking it up out of the hand or if he was sitting off speed.
That one
Ball
missed.
That's a really good job of laying off the 0-2 high fastball. Is going to make that pitcher really have to respect this hitter, even though he's behind in the count.
And there's 2 away. Brandon Lockridge digs in now. On the ground. And a base hit right there. So the 2-out knock extends the inning and sends them back to the top of the order.
Well, clearly he was ready to hit right there. Timing on the swing was good. Able to shoot the ball up.
Runner on the go. Pitch in for a strike. Throw, save. That's a stolen base. Smoked on the ground a second. Fires over to Guerrero. Inning over. Top half of the 3rd inning. And now to the plate. Here's the Toronto DH, Nathan Lucas. Pulls that one foul.
Well, these Jays definitely being aggressive at the plate, but I think it's fair to wonder if they're being a little over-aggressive. I'm specifically talking about the first pitch. These batters are swinging more than 80% of the time, which is fine if you're scoring runs, but that hasn't been the case today.
Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. Hit on the ground to the right side. Walker steps on the bag and one away in the top of the 3rd. Here's Andres Jimenez. On the ground, right side. Slings to first. First 2 batters retired here in the top of the 3rd. In steps the man they call Captain Kirk. A swing and a miss, and that's strike 1. On the ground to short. Fires over to first. That's the inning. As we go to the last of the 3rd. Digging in, Brent Rooker. Right through there for a strike. Hot shot, and he can't knock it down.
Well, that'll make you feel good as a hitter right there. Smash that one through the infield for the knock. When it's hit that hard, it makes it very tough on the infielders to make any sort of play.
The 1-0.
Hey.
On the ground, out to short. There's one. A sensational double play. Base is empty after the double play. Eugenio Suarez up to the plate now.
Eugenio
Ball 1.
Drilled in the air, high and deep right field. Way back there, it's got a chance. And it is gone. So he blasts one out the other way, and they add a run. It's 2-0. And now a chance for Shea Langoliers. Pop foul out of play off to the right. 2 down, nobody on. Swings through that one for strike 2.
Another 0-2 count right here. Pitcher just in the driver's seat. He can go anywhere he wants to go right here.
And there's a rocket into the outfield. Around first and hustling for second. Here comes the throw. In safely. It's a double and his second hit. Christian Walker the next to hit. That one fouled hard the other way. Man on second, 2 down. And that's in there for a strike, and quickly nothing at 2. Next offering is outside.
0-2 pitch that far out of the zone gives the hitter a little confidence that maybe he can climb back into this at bat.
The 1-2. Swing, and he popped it up. Makes the catch, inning over. As we go to the top of the 4th. Now here's the leadoff man for the Blue Jays, Anthony Santander. And a foul ball. 0-1.
Nope. Outside.
Oh, great stop. And very nicely done for the out. So up next for Toronto, Jacob Wilson. 0 for 1. He grounded out in his first at bat. Swings through that one for strike 1.
Boog, over 80% of his first pitches are strikes. You're doing that, you could have a really good day out there on the mound.
Tosses to first. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 4th. 2 down, base is empty. Addison Barger next up for the Blue Jays. Rips that one to right. And that is that. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Leading off, Zach Geloff.
Ball. Aye.
This one in the air, right field. Takes it in for the out. Cam Smith will hit next. He's 0 for 1. In the air, right field. Takes it in for the out. And now the center fielder, Brandon Lockridge.
Ball 2.
2 down, nobody on. We're here in the bottom of the 4th.
Aye.
That one drifts inside.
A rare 3-ball count here. He's been throwing strikes all day. Got to be ready to hit if you're in the box.
And that's in there at the knees for a strike. High fly ball lifted in the air, right field. Springer has a beat on it. And that is that. New inning getting started. Now the Toronto 4-hole hitter, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 0-1.
Well, these Blue Jays just aren't putting together very many good at-bats in this one. We're in the back half of the game, and they're still searching for a base runner. He's been great out there on the mound, no doubt, but it's also been a disappointing performance at the plate to this point.
That just misses. Ball one.
And as we get deeper, it's not going to get any easier. These at-bats are going to feel more and more desperate with every out the rest of the way.
Got him swinging. And the batter is George Springer. Went down on strikes his first time through. Now he breaks his bat. Langoliers takes it in for the out. 2 away. Dalton Varsho next up for the Blue Jays. Swing and a ball popped up. Geloff should have this one. And that is that. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Now here's the leadoff hitter for the A's, Otto Lopez. And a base hit. Man aboard on the leadoff single.
Well, no waiting around right there. He was ready to swing it on the first pitch. Nice job of driving that pitch the other way on a line. You know, hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly.
Off the plate inside. Ball 2. Comes up empty. That's strike 2. And now it's filled up.
And that's awfully close. I don't know how you take that. He's seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand really well right now.
Ball 4.
And ball 4, 2 aboard. Big at bat now as the polar bear, Pete Alonso, steps in.
Ball.
The A's trying to break this one open. Last half of inning number 5.
Tough spot right here. A couple runners on. 2-ball count. You can't nibble, but you have to execute and finish your pitch. If you leave something out over the plate, it's going to bring in some runs.
That's ripped into the outfield. And there's one down. Eugenio Suarez up next for the A's. He's already homered here in this one.
Ball inside.
1 out. Runners at first and second.
Yeah. Nope, that's off the plate. Ball 2.
Close
Ball
one.
3.
Doesn't get the call. Ball 3. Yeah, that's fouled off. 2 on, 1 out. Line drive. That's a base hit. Lopez around third. He'll score, and they take a 3-run lead. Now the throw comes in. Runner holds at third. Jay Langoliers getting ready to hit.
Ball 1. Ball down. Hey.
Rooker at third. Suarez at first. 1 gone. Swing and a foul out of play. Inside, just missed. Hard liner. No one can get there. It falls in. 1 run is in. Rounds third, headed for the plate. He'll score. 2 runs are in. It's 5-0.
He was all over that one. Pretty much a model swing on that one as he ripped it into the opposite field gap. And
here's a rocket to right field. And this one looks like trouble. Runner from second scores as they add on. And in at second with an RBI double.
Stringing them together, that's 3 hits in a row. Loud contact leads to the double. I mean, you could tell it had extra bases written all over it as it jumped off of his stick.
Geloff in the box here lets that one go for a ball. On a line, base hit. Coming home. He will score. It's an RBI single, and they're pulling away up by 7 now. Next up for the A's, Cam Smith. Hit hard, base hit. Lead runner makes the turn at second, and they'll have runners at the corners after a 1-out single.
They are really feeding off each other. That's 5 hits in a row. Just a cookie down the middle. I mean, those are the ones you dream about. Ones in the cage, you're just hoping you get in the ball game. Right down the middle, not a whole lot of velocity, right on top of it.
Laboring here, about to throw his 30th pitch of the inning. That one misses, and it's 3-0. There's a strike. And a foul ball. Runners are at the corners, 1 away. And they're all loaded up.
That pitch is in.
So the lineup flips over. They hand the ball over to a new arm, Braden Fisher.
Well, no margin for error in terms of throwing strikes with the bases loaded. Just has to execute 1 pitch at a time to try to get out of this.
Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
2 really good back-to-back sliders. Now in an 0-2 count. He's feeling real.
Swing and a high fly ball to right. He makes the grab. Runners tagging from second and third. Runner in from third to extend their lead. Brent Rooker the next to hit. Swing and a ground ball. On to first. Inning over. All set for the top of the 6th. Now it's the Toronto designated hitter, Nathan Lucas. Hit hard on the ground to short. Whips it to first. 1 pitch and 1 out. So digging in, Andres Jimenez. Grounded out his first time up. And that one fouled off.
I'm impressed by the number of first pitch strikes. He's not afraid of contact. Some guys, they'll nibble just because they don't want to get hit hard. That's not what we're seeing here.
Here's the 0-2. Foul ball left side. He'll see another. This one in the air, center field. Lockridge under it. Takes it in for the out. And here is Alejandro Kirk. 0 for 1 so far. And he swings through that one.
Tonight, his slider has been really impressive. I mean, tight spin. Seems like the hitters aren't picking it up out of the hand.
In the air to left center. And that is that. Back here in a blowout, which gives us a chance to talk about just about anything.
Bro, don't get me fired.
All right, Singy, in ballpark entertainment, you got a favorite mascot race?
Yeah, I love what they do in D.C. with the former presidents.
Somebody always gets tackled. They always get hurt.
I know, and it's just crazy. Imagine running around in those big, bulky suits, and somebody's always going to go down.
Pitch misses. Ball 3. Do you remember when Tim Kirkchin ran in the sausage race in Milwaukee?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Oh, this one high and deep. Way back there. Pulls it in on the warning track. Next up for the A's, Eugenio Suarez. On the ground, just there for a base hit. Now he'll turn for second. And he'll reach second with 1 away.
I'm sure he feels really good about that one. Even though he was really late on it, he clearly barreled the ball because that one was ripped down the line. He had to be really short with that swing and not get beat by that pitch.
That's a ball.
I wanted to race the freeze with 1 point. I don't think my hamstrings could hold up for it now.
I feel like 5 years ago you could have handled the freeze. It would have been fun. And I would bait you into it and try and get you to train to race the freeze. And it just never materialized.
Yeah, I appreciate that you had enough confidence in me that I could beat a guy who looks like he was going to the Olympic trials at some point or another. But yeah, it's always a great thing to watch there at Truist Park.
Would you have worn one of those bobsled outfits like the freeze wears?
Nah, they'd have been a little too revealing for me at this end.
A swing and a miss. Top of inning number 7. Now here's the leadoff man for the Blue Jays, Anthony Santander. Swing and a miss.
These hitters have been very aggressive early in the count, but when you're down, you might want to be a little more patient.
Swung on, popped up on the infield. Lopez settles underneath it, and there's one away. Jacob Wilson next up for the Blue Jays, has grounded out a couple of times. Swing and a miss as he was late that time.
Pretty amazing, his first pitch strike percentage over 90%. You know you're getting something in the zone.
Hit on the ground, and it gets through. Just like that, the perfect game is gone.
Well, there goes the chance for a perfect game. Really nice job staying up the middle with his approach. He didn't try to do too much with the pitch, just shot it through the infield.
And the batter now, Addison Barger. Late with the swing there.
It's just been an impressive outing so far. Continues to pound the zone pitch after pitch, and he's been able to stay down. That's what's been key.
And a base hit. And now 2 aboard.
Really nice job of 2-strike hitting in that at bat. I could watch base hits like that one all day long, and so could every hitting coach in the league. Just a nice line drive into center field.
Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Here comes the 0-1. And a swing and a miss there.
This lineup is having a tough time finding a good rhythm at the plate. Their swings are disjointed, which tells me they're having issues with pitch recognition. You can see he was trying to stay back long enough to handle the off-speed pitch, but just a little tardy on the fastball.
Tap softly third base side, a swinging bunt. Here's Geloff for 1. Double play. They can't seem to break through. Bottom of the 7th. Now it's the second baseman, Brady Basso, on the pitch out of the pen here.
And with the big deficit on the scoreboard, he almost has to just put that out of his mind. Every outing matters for relievers and their numbers, but I think it's tough to get up for this type of appearance the same way you would for one in a close game.
Andy Ibanez leading things off and takes a strike. Swings through that one for strike 2. On the ground to third, and it gets by him. Around first, heading for 2. And he's into second with nobody out.
Well, he found himself behind in the count right there, but he didn't give in. Just found a way to slap that ball down the third baseline. That's really excellent back control. I mean, it kind of goes back to all those drills you see hitters do off the tee where it's placed in different spots. That was just nice.
So now with 1 away and a man at second, Brandon Lockridge up next for the A's. Fought off foul. Here's the 0-1. Way inside, gets out of the way. Up the middle, makes the catch for the second out. So back to the top of the order. Now here's the leadoff hitter for the A's, Otto Lopez. Foul ball there. Man at second. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. Run comes in from second, and they now lead by 9.
Once you get the ball by the pitcher, there's a lot of base hits up the middle, even on ground balls. So a nice job to use that big hole and get himself a hit.
Hammered on a line to the left, base hit. So that's 2 straight 2-out hits.
All over that one right there. When you can turn a ball around at 107 off the bat, it's going to make you feel really good inside. If he elevates that a little bit more, it's definitely out of here.
Up and in.
Ball 1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
He's getting a little frustrated out there on the mound, getting hit around a little bit. Let's see if he can settle himself down.
Two on, 2 outs. That one is absolutely belted. Looks like extra bases. 1 run across.